everybody, and welcome to
Howson and... No. It's Mckola and Howson because I won the quiz, isn't it?
Bullshit that.
It is. I won. I'm the champion of... What was that called again?
House party.
House party. I'm the champion of house parties. House parties are good, aren't they? I ain't been to one of them in a while. Can you have one so I can come?
But here's the thing, right? You've got a couple of things, haven't you? At my age, mate, they're not called house parties. They're called dinner parties.
Oh, yeah. You have to wear a tie.
House parties when you're 17.
Yeah, and you got a free house.
Mike's mum and dad have gone on holiday. We're having it or what? But no, at my age, I can just...
Well, can you have one?
Well, I get drunk in my house on a regular, so...
True, say. It's normally on the internet, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Got Janine on the rum now.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Just a family of alcoholics now, aren't you?
The children aren't.
Not yet. Just a bit on the dummy.
No, not even.
For the little one. I used to have that, though.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Bit of Guinness on the dummy now and then.
What's happening?
Not a lot. I'm feeling very hot. And I'm feeling like very weird about this because it's like the Europa League isn't really happening now.
I mean, it is.
But it is. But it's like it doesn't, like, you know, if we didn't finish top four, we'd be still thinking we're in a season. But it just kind of feels like the season's ended.
Do you think United are going to fully toss it off?
And I think we're going to toss off that last game, which we can. I think the Istanbul
Imagine we lose 6-0.
or Copenhagen game.
But imagine.
Yeah, I know.
The memes, Adam.
The Istanbul or Copenhagen game, I think we'll try and do that. And then I think you'll start to like bed some of them back in like a pre-season.
For the semi-finals.
Yeah. I genuinely think that's what's going to happen.
Because I think it'd be going to be Roma in the semi.
It could be Wolves, Olympia. Is that the group I'm thinking of, yeah?
I think so. And Roma's in that. And I think it's going to be Roma. Yeah, I think that'd work great. I think.
If not, if we get knocked out against Istanbul or Copenhagen, then you'd imagine we'd have to book in a few friendlies and all that kind of stuff.
Sack it and play some Europa League football.
Yeah,
and,
I just think the
best
best thing is to send, let's say that main 11 that started those 5 games in a row, send them all on holiday, and make them miss that first game. And I think we will see that. You're hearing talk about possibly Ted Mengi, Ethan Laird coming in for that game. Maybe even, you know, it's a big opportunity for the likes of Jesse Lingard, Odion Igalo as well. So I think it could be a good balance of team.
Heard off one of United's players yesterday.
Ooh. Friend. Which one?
We asked him about...
it's a him. Narrows it down.
It is a him. Asked him about...
What size shoe is he?
I reckon 11.
Size 11.
Asked him about a couple of the young lads that have been training. I said, how do they look? He said, Ethan's mint.
Where did you ask where he's been playing in training?
No.
Because the left or the right, a bit interesting.
It would be interesting because I think that... do you know what? If it wasn't for injuries, Ethan would probably have debuted before Brandon.
Yeah,
I think he'd probably be backup choice either side. And I think he's got a chance to show that against Lask. And I hope he just stays fit.
He did play this season in the Europa, didn't he?
He played against Lask, I think.
It was Ted Mengi that was left on the bench, wasn't
Yes, he didn't make it, yeah.
Has he been involved in training?
Yes, and also asked our friend about him. And he said, I said, how's he? And he said, kid's a beast. He said, but can wind him up a bit.
That's good, though.
He goes, he gives a few penalties away.
A little bit of needle's good, innit?
Yeah, and I went, well, I got time for psychos. And I know Tedden's a bit fucking unhinged. Paddock fan, by the way, Tedden.
I love someone that's unhinged. Being unhinged is good.
You need some unhinged.
Yeah, you do somewhere along the team. And in defence as well. Maybe just one unhinged one is good. You couldn't have Bailly and Mengi, maybe.
Or like you couldn't have Bailly and Rojo when they were mint together.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Ro Jones, remember that? Ro Jones.
So, basically, the younger lads have been impressive.
Anybody else that we maybe haven't expected to be involved? Because we all know Ted Mengi, Ethan Laird.
Jimmy Garner's trained, but I'm not thinking he's going to be in the mixer. I'd love to have seen Levitt involved because if you want to just hold possession, fuck me. 100 passes in his debut. That's unreal. Think about that.
What do you think the future holds for Dylan and James? And I don't mean long term, I mean short term, because obviously we all know they're talented players.
I would assume one or both go on alone, and it's got to be like championship.
Because Dylan's playing international football at times, you know what I mean? So you can't
So
be just sitting in the
obviously
23s.
That's obviously championship quality. Dylan for me, and obviously we know his family as well. Like Dylan, a great fucking family of Reds, and I love that he carries that I'm a United fan sort of needle into games. Like he's a dirty little shit sometimes, and I love it.
Again, we like that. Got a lot of time for that. A little bit of
Drove all the way over to where was it? We watched him. Bangor, I think. Drove all the way to fucking Bangor, and he was on the bench against San Marino. You're like, are you taking the fucking piss?
San Marino.
Then they brought him on with 10 minutes to come on, and you're like, oh, that's a professional footballer.
Yeah, it's because it's like we've all played at certain levels where someone just comes in and they're a step above everyone, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot. I remember Jan training with us when he was a kid, and he was just like, he's 11, I'm 18, 19, but he's so much better than me. It's like, it's so clearly that he's a professional footballer, and those are the like. When you're dealing with professionals and non-professionals, the levels are just...
There's just weird little techniques that you don't even get told about because you're just still trying to fucking control it. And, they're thinking on the next three things.
Even just, like little movements with the body, little steps, being in the right place, or turning that way. Just those little split-second things that unless you've been maybe schooled in an academy or those kind of things, you're not going to have that. And you see it in them. And that's why it's hard because... Every player that comes through at Manchester United is talented. They're the best of where they are.
Oh, they're the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, and it's like we talk about some players that haven't gone on to do well or have maybe flopped a little bit. And that's not down to talent. That's down to a little bit of luck, maybe injuries, maybe application.
Yeah,
mental
who's in your position in the first team. And you got to remember as well, you come into United, you almost have to be international level to get a chance. And the pressure that is, because let's be honest, mate, you can be a professional and not international. That's no disgrace to be a professional and not international.
You could be a great international and not a great club player. We've seen that with people as well, because the styles of football are just
and that's
different.
it as well. If you're, let's say you was a big bruising sort of Les Ferdinand character, and you're at City. Well, guess what, mate? I mean, well. Guess what anyway, but like you ain't getting played, so yeah, you have to come through at the right time. Look at Fabio and Rafael. One of them played over 100 games, one of them played about 12, and one had a bulletproof Paddy Ever in front of him, and the other had an aging
Fabio was
Gary
the better
Neville,
player as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He come through as the captain of Brazil's team. He was we signed Rafael because we wanted Fabio.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we signed both.
Like we want you, he comes. All right.
That's meant that. Yeah, but I got a twin brother that looks like me, plays a bit like me on the opposite side. I never ever thought that would like that. I thought that was a gimmick that wouldn't come through. Like, remember Curlan? When you saw Curlan, you're like, we need him, seal dribble. And then we had these twin fullbacks from Brazil, and you're like, we're never.
And we signed him at like 15, and we left him at Fluminense for like 3 years until he were old enough to come over. And then Rafael got United as well, big time. Yeah,
I think those South Americans have that though, where they. Because I don't know if they
Heinz didn't.
Well, they did when they were playing for us, though. I don't know if it's because they connect to fan culture so much. Maybe the South Americans do. You see what fan culture is like over there.
I mean, they connect it. They get it, but then they also drop it quick. Like
they treat it as a business, and a lot of people do.
All of them. I mean, apart from Valencia, maybe
the Argy's done us over.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The Argy's done us over.
Like, yeah, you feel like Rojo gets it, but he wants out. Tevez got it, but he was after going to City. Di Maria, fuck him.
Heinz wanted to do it.
Heinz wanted to go to Liverpool. So, you know what I mean? Not a good track record with
Varane didn't work out, but he didn't do us over.
No, Varane never had any. I never heard of a bad word said by Varane. Actually, well classy in the way he handled the abuse and that he got.
One of the things I remember of Varane was when they had a Christmas party and he went as Ali G. And I remember seeing that picture in the papers at that time. Hopefully someone can find a picture of that. But I remember Varane going as Ali G.
Varane was nowhere near as bad as people made out. What happened is
he was great in Europe.
The system didn't work.
He was great in Europe.
And you had a 4-man midfield, Beckham, Giggs, Keane, Scholes, which was pretty good and it worked. And Fergie went, well, instead of playing that midfield with 2 strikers, I'm going to try and squeeze an extra midfielder in here. But David Beckham isn't your flying, cut inside winger. didn't really work. Giggs was becoming a cultured central midfielder by then, so he was essentially playing with like a 5-man central midfield with no pace, and then you bring Rude in, and it just didn't quite work. And that's why when he evolved that team and he got in Rooney and Ronaldo and Tevez, he went with pace in those forward three, and that's when it actually worked. But it took him a bit of experimenting.
We were still though in the middle of that. We were kind of still in that 4-4-2 era though, weren't we, when we got Varane? And that was the thing. Fergie hadn't really looked beyond, like, you know, to a 4-3-3.
No, I think he.
4.
Well, I think he went 4-5-1 with it rather than 4-3-3.
But he went for a more 4-4-1-1 almost. Maybe Varane or Scholesy picking up rather than a midfield that actually worked, which was frustrating because he was such a talent. And to get him, like I remember when we got him,
jumped on my sofa.
Whoa!
Jumped on my sofa. I remember my dad telling me, and I was like,
now.
"Oh,
yeah, big."
Did we sign Rio at the same time? Same summer?
Maybe a bit later.
Or maybe
Rio was a little bit later.
Was Rude in the same summer? I think two of them three was in the same summer. What a window. Whoever it was. Let me find it.
Ronaldo and Kleberson came together in 04.
Yeah, 3.
Rio came after a tournament. So 02, 03. Seba Varane came in 2001.
I'm sure Rude and Varane.
Varane came just after the Champions League win.
Hang on.
Varane came in 2001. Told you.
When did Rude come?
2000.
I've got this up here. Transfer League's a good one for this because it shows you all the summers.
Ruud van Nistelrooy came in 2001.
Right then.
What
so,
a summer.
Rude and Varane in one summer.
Oh,
stop it!
Oh, God. And Varane was considered one of, if not the best central midfielders in the world. Up there with the Zizous, the Scholeses, the Keanes. And then to have... What would the equivalent of being Keane, Scholes, Varane be now?
Pogba, Cruz, Kante?
That's a bit more balanced though, right?
Probably. Well, Varane was a bit of both, wasn't he? He was like... He was combative, but he also could play.
He wasn't quite Riquelme like, but he could do little bits of that.
But he could also sit in the 4 as it used to be known as the 6. But in the 4 as it used to be, which is why he wore 4, and spray him and play that quarterback kind of role.
Shin pads a little bit down, socks a little bit down,
and a white finger on his knee.
He always had this thing where like his heels flicked out as he run, like a little. He was just swaggy with it, and to talk about someone like that, not the same position, not the same kind of player, but has that swag. It's Jack Grealish, I think. Has that little bit of swag on the ball.
I don't think he compares.
Down,
yeah, I don't think he compares to Varane.
No, I don't mean to compare. No. I just mean having that little bit of swag. You got some of them players that just have it. Scholesy was the same. You could tell he never thought about it. Jack Grealish clearly thinks about it. Like he never thought about it. But Scholesy was the same. Like he was almost nonchalant the way he played football. It was like
that's it. Cool has to be effortless. That's why Cantona was cool because he just did what he wanted. Legit did what he wanted. But couldn't find a.
He was a maverick off the pitch as well, whereas Scholesy was just a maverick on the pitch.
Just a dad.
Yeah.
Scholesy is the most dad footballer ever, isn't it? Yo, if you look at his Instagram, you follow him on Instagram. He's all about his kids. Yeah, he's all about his kids, which is fucking class. And I think he's got a 5-a-side pitch in his backyard, hasn't he? Where he definitely goes and kills it still.
Mate, imagine Scholesy being your dad. Or someone like that. Fucking hell. That's good, isn't it?
As Texas, what's that like?
Yeah, let us know. Just DM me, man. Just let me know what's he saying.
I think it was his birthday yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Happy birthday, Az. That's weird, isn't it? Like, I remember I'll see him at games now, and I used to think, I remember seeing you on the pitch walking around. Like, you know the title was on the pitch.
Now he's like,
getting absolutely calling everyone shit.
Causing arguments on Twitter. Don't do that. That's Jay's thing.
Oh man, but yeah, that's great. Scholesy's. Did you see his tweet about Ollie? Sorry, his Instagram post.
It's bang on. It's exactly what I've been saying.
The words were
not an achievement.
Not an achievement, but progress along those lines.
Totally.
Paraphrased. An achievement, no. Progress, yes. That's what he put. Bang on, innit?
That's exactly what I said in my fan cam, I think, after the game.
Yeah. And it was weird because we had people commenting under the fan cams, and I know comments on YouTube should never be anything we go by, but we had people, oh, you're celebrating. No one was, like, there was a goal clip of us celebrating a goal, I'm like, you're celebrating top 4. No, we're celebrating a goal. It was like when I had that picture of me and Fellaini on the pitch at Palace, someone was like, you're celebrating top 4 a bit much. Do you really think when I saw the moment to step on that pitch, I thought, this is for top 4, woo! Like, even if we're 17th, we're celebrating them goals.
Yeah. Fuck off. If you don't celebrate goals, just fuck off and go watch something else. Watch cricket, you boring prick. You got any cricket this week now?
I did watch. You know what? Since I've got older, I've started watching cricket. I don't know if it's because United are shit. Well, have been shit over the last 7 years. Maybe. You know, so you start taking interest in other sports, take your mind off it. Because when United lose, so if United lost yesterday, let's say, for example, and today there was a Super Sunday on, yeah? And there's 2 big games on, I wouldn't watch them if United lost. But if United won, I'd watch them. Because I don't want to hear them talking about football and talking about, just in case they mention it.
Just in case anyone was wondering, fuck Craig Burley.
Yeah, people want you to talk about that. What did Craig Burley say?
There's no way Ollie should be celebrating third. Or it was really like it was really sort of like extreme language for it.
Did none of them motherfuckers see Jose Mourinho jumping around the sidelines celebrating sixth? And that prick's had something to say this week as well. Let me read this quote from him.
Oh yeah, he wanted to talk about this. He's made.
He said, Bruno came in, was fit, played well, improved the team, and also proved to be a great penalty taker, one of the best in the world, because he had 20 to score. Jose, if your striker's got in the box, you might get a penalty, bruv. If you let Harry Kane have a shot, he might score a goal. What the hell's going on here?
Can't get penalties. We didn't get penalties, I think. How many penalties we get into Jose? It felt like none. It felt like we never got a penalty.
We had 14 this season. We could have had 2 more, and one of them was dodgy.
The one against Villa, I said at the time, didn't I? I don't think that's a pen.
Yeah, you did. I thought it was a pen.
I didn't think that was a pen, and was saying that on the stream. All the rest of them, look, some of them are a little on the softer side, but they are penalties. Like, I don't think some of them shits should be given. Like, I don't think some of the offside should be given because it's not clear and obvious. That's the whole point of this shit, is that it has to be clear and obvious. But when you've had an independent fucking panel reviewing them, watching them, and then making a decision that, hey, that's a penalty. It's a fucking penalty. The whole issue that I ever had with the Scousers and VAR was things weren't going to VAR. I don't think VAR's made a bad decision apart from the one where they admitted we got that wrong. I can't remember if that was against
Sheffield. It was a goal line decision.
That was it, yeah.
It went off at VAR, so VAR didn't admit anything.
Yeah. But that was my issue, is not going to VAR. The choice to not go to VAR is what gets me, because if you go to VAR, 99% of the time it's got the correct decision, but they're not going. And there's some things that they just choose not to.
And
like
it's not the VAR to blame. It's the referee that's looking at the VAR.
Yeah, or the people we had Keith Hackett on the warm down just before VAR came in, and we was talking to him about it, and he said it's meant to act like a linesman. Sometimes a linesman will flag and the referee will overrule him. And he said it's meant to act like that. He goes, it's the earpiece. He goes, but the linesmen and that have earpieces now, where you might go, Keithy, I'm bald that. And he'll go, okay. And that's what it's meant to be. He goes, that's what VAR's meant to be. It's not necessarily meant to be the referee goes and watches it on the telly, but the World Cup sort of got us all used to seeing that. It's meant to be someone in VAR saying, that's the wrong call.
The World Cup got me more open-minded to VAR because I enjoyed it. It didn't affect the game as much to me, and it got more decisions right than wrong, so there was nothing to complain about.
You also knew that the referee was doing something.
Yeah.
Now it seems like they're standing on the pitch.
And especially at Old Trafford, we haven't got a screen. We've got the advertising hoardings, but they don't change in real time. So you'll be waiting, and it won't change until after they've said it. And you just can't really tell what's going on.
And it sounds like a weird robot.
I think it's the usual
VAR check in progress.
The English arrogance of we know better, when really they don't. And I think they've fucked it up a little bit.
But he said the whole thing was, if you're getting the thing out and having to zoom in for a pixel offside and this and that, he ain't offside.
Yeah, that's not.
There's no advantage.
That's what it should be, though. Like, the ref should look with his eyes. Is he offside? Is he just on?
No,
if he's just
most of the time it's like level. Right, if you've got to zoom in and you go, well, there's a pixel off there. It's level. Shut up. Like you said, I know you did law, didn't you? What was the spirit of the reason for that law? It wasn't because someone's bush is offside.
The purposes of approach.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of this law? What's it there to stop? Goal hanging?
Yeah.
Not your fucking ear being ahead of the line.
Yeah. Because and I also I see the accuracy on one side, but I never see the accuracy on the kick of the ball. Because what does when the ball is played mean? Does it mean when it leaves your foot or when my foot first connects it?
So, like, is his foot still on the ball or off the ball? Like,
yeah,
I get what you're
because
saying.
that one frame, backwards or forwards, you've seen the difference. That can be on or off.
And it's the frame speeds of the cameras. Like, how good are these cameras?
How can you be that accurate on one end and, like, about that'll do?
Was it matter in the cup when his foot was, like, really pixelated?
No, it was the line was jagged.
But do you remember the one where there was a foot that was really pixelated?
It was the first ever VAR incident for United. Huddersfield Cup, FA Cup.
I just don't get it. I personally believe football should never have brought video assistant referees in. I understand goal line technology is factual, but then even then, like, we've had that mistake this season. I just feel football at the grassroots should be the same as at the top level.
But that's the thing, innit? With the goal line technology, with all of that lot, officials just aren't making decisions. It's like, was it Mike Dean in the semi where he should have called a foul for Martial, but because he doesn't call for that foul and VAR can't overturn whatever happened, that I saw this because I see it in rugby league. Decisions that you just make when you haven't got the backup of the VAR stop getting made, and every bullshit decision goes to VAR because they bottle it. They're like, I want to be 100% right.
Sometimes you've got a ref that might think, I didn't see that, but surely if it's a penalty, VAR will give it. But then VAR are thinking, he's not giving it, so it's not clear and obvious, so we can't step in. Whereas, so it's kind of like two people waiting. All right, are you going to step in? Am I going to step in? And it's stupid. But I do think it could improve the game. I just don't think the way the English football are using it at the moment has improved the game. And if anything, it's taking it away from it. And especially because...
Oh, you got 20 penalties, or what you're on about?
Yeah, when we're watching Spanish football or Italian football, we're never in the... Well, we go maybe once in a blue moon, but we're never in the crowd. We're in the games at these ones. So it's like, it's not an entertainment at home on TV thing. It's being in the crowd. How is it affecting us? What are we hearing?
Remember Mings scoring at Old Trafford? No one really celebrated it from Villa's end.
Yeah.
Everyone just sort of was like...
Aubameyang, Arsenal. The flag went up. He was miles onside. The hair stopped. So why is your flag going up? Like, that's what baffles me, because you've changed. Your flag has changed the game. Whether you like it or not.
Play the whistle.
The goalkeeper's seen it, and he's unsure of what to do. Fair enough, he's onside, so goal was allowed anyway. But that flag going up has affected the decision making. I think.
Yeah, that's got to be as much as interfering with play as a guy sitting on the floor in front of him. Because you see that out the corner of your eye, like,
especially a big bright flag. So yeah, it's a bit, and especially when you're under the impression that refs will only flag, linos will only flag if they're sure, because sometimes they hold it down and wait. So then surely if it's up, he must be sure about his decision then, or he's going to leave it. So yeah, I think VAR can be improved on massively, and I don't hold any hope they will though. Should we try and chat to the PG Mo if they'll let us go down?
PGMOL. Well, I can speak to Keith. Keith.
Keith?
Keith.
Oh, Keith.
He refereed the World Cup final.
Friend, let me come and play with your card. Friend.
You all right?
Yeah, come on, Keith. Let us come to PGMO and fuck his all up.
I think he was either the former head off, but I think he's still got a bit of a say. He's still
Mike Dean the other day, a decision got given by VAR though, and as he walked up to it, he was like, I don't get that. But I love that, because he's like, he's had to give it, but he's like, where's this decision come from? I thought that was quite cool.
Fuck him.
What you made? Who you want to come up in the playoffs? We got Brentford.
Oh, we got some questions.
Fulham, Swansea. Who do you want to come up? Brentford are going to have a new stadium.
I don't hate Fulham. Brentford would be interesting because it's a new team.
Fulham's a good away. Where's the questions? Oh man, I hate getting questions on Twitter. It's just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. By the way, guys, make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Join if you can as well. Become a member of... I don't know what channel I was going to say then. Paddock. Become a member and get involved. Oh, there it is. There's that one with the questions. Questions! You ready?
This Liverpool fan just called me fat and he's fatter than me. So retweet it.
He's not fat. He's just full of sexy. Okay.
Go on.
What's the realistic expectation for United to achieve in next season's UEFA Champions League?
Oh,
says Danny Martin.
You got to get to the knockout stages. ultimately, you don't know because you don't know if you end up getting the winners in the round of 16 or in the quarters there. So,
lads, serious question: should Ali play the kids for the whole Europa campaign? We kind of touched on that already, but there you go, Damien. Yes or no?
Not for the whole campaign.
Would you prefer this?
Because think about this, right? If we do get third and Europa League, that's a mint season.
This is options. So you get Sancho and a centre back.
Oh.
One more signing. Is it an attacking mid or a defensive mid? From Dumnall.
Looks like Ollie's keen on a Sancho-ish character or a Van der Beek. I personally think you've got to get Matic replaced sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think we have to replace him while he's still here, a.k.a. ASAP. Gaz Taylor says, what's your favourite cheese? Seems to be the question on everybody's lips.
Mature cheddar.
Yeah, I'm pretty simple when it comes. I like a bit of mozzarella as well, but I'm very simple when it comes to cheese. Plus, like, I ain't got all day to be sitting around in fucking aisle at Tesco looking for cheese. Just pick up the block of Cathedral and keep stepping, you know what I mean? What the fuck you waiting for? Yeah, I thought it was Mckola and Howson Uncensored. You've been tweeting Howson and Mckola Uncensored again. What haven't we told you about this, bro?
That was Alex.
It's my show now, man.
Blame me. When was Alex last on camera? Seems like not been on for ages.
Alex.
Get that little fucker doing it.
Alex who? Neil. Bagley. Alex the Baghead. He's about somewhere.
He's got some new socks, Alex.
Has he got new socks? Hopefully takes the attention away from his lack of a beard.
Harsh, but very fair.
Van der Beek for 50 million or Grealish for 80 million. Who do you sign? Paul asks.
Grealish for 80 million is madness when you got Bruno for half that. Literal madness, but I'd probably lean towards Grealish.
You know it makes sense. You know it, mate. He loves Brobbies, he does. He absolutely loves them. Me and Jack Grealish up and down that M6. It's going to be a good time, you know. We might go gym together as well. We've been talking about it. But Villa, really, I think what United have done, we've heard United have kind of pulled away from the deal for Jack Grealish, but I think that's just a
tic-tac.
Jack, sort your shit out with them.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll want 80 million. I think they want about 60 mil.
Yeah, 60 mil on the table.
50, 60. 50 plus 10.
It's good though, that.
Yeah,
it's good.
I'd take him for 50 plus 10.
All you got to do is you walk it right. You're Ed Woodward, Matt Judge. Here's what you do.
Oh, do I have to be?
You get Bruno Fernandes and a screensaver on your phone, and you go, you want 80 million? He cost us 40. Not better than him. And then you sit there going, do you think he's better than him? Do you think he is better than him? Do you think he's better than him? He don't even drink
And then
drive.
we show him Jack Grealish's old tweets.
Yeah, you show him, and then you go, and he doesn't even drink drive, Bruno.
And Jack Grealish isn't really a Villa fan. If you look at his old tweets. So,
which I know you've been doing religiously.
Yeah, he's a United fan. Go search for them tweets.
He did say he was a Villa fan on telly, though.
He did, but that's because he's played there all his life. So he's going to have some sort of attachment to them where he wants them to do well and wants them to win. But I think growing up, he watched David Beckham. He thought he was David Beckham. Like, you can tell he was that guy. So Jack Grealish signed for United ASAP. Signed for United. Jesse Lingard looks like he wants to stay, doesn't he? At the moment.
That was a long monologue, that.
He started with The Man in the Mirror, so I was already singing.
Didn't really rhyme after that, though.
Yeah, I was gutted about that. I thought he should have made it, remix the tune a bit.
Shamo.
But it's a real human message from, like, it shows the human side of these players, doesn't it? We know we've had a lot of issues over the last 18 months. Well, maybe since the World Cup.
He ain't come back from the World Cup.
He hasn't. But do you think those times are behind him and maybe he's going to look... I still think he could go, but...
Who knows? Because, look, I think Jesse would probably be happy days being a squad player at United. The issue with him, with Pereira, with all of them, is when they're playing week in, week out, they're not that good to do that. But an option off the bench, an option. I mean, he was one of the best players against was it City at home or Tottenham at home this season. I think it was Tottenham. He can still have his moments, but he can't be a starter. Otherwise, we got problems. I think
there's certain games you need someone like Jesse Lingard, and he'd be the perfect foil.
But
you think of Spurs away last year under Oli, like he was perfect in that game. But he's clearly fallen off a little bit, and I think you sell 2 of 3: Andreas, Mata, and Jesse.
No doubt, especially if you're bringing in an attacking midfielder.
And you're bringing in Jack Grealish, and I think the one you keep out of those 3 is Jesse Lingard.
Well, Mata's old.
And I think he can possibly demand a fee from like Turkey or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Andreas, you're not getting shit for.
Chuck him in the deal for Jack Grealish.
Yeah, maybe. He's also
Andreas, Birmingham's a great place, you know. You should move there.
Something bullring. If you go,
can stay at mine, Andreas. Me, you, and Jack.
Text me. If you look at who you've got available, obviously Jesse also adds to the homegrown quota as well, which we don't know how that's going to be affected with Brexit.
Brexit bastards.
It is going to be affected with Brexit, I think, somehow.
And that's probably why United are signing Sancho and Grealish and targeting Brexit Britain players.
4-4-2.
3 cheers for Ramirez.
Carlin.
Oh, God.
Carlin on tap in the Stretford end. 4-4-2. Ollie's Brexit Reds.
Yeah, bringing the title back. Do you think... I saw recently that odds for United to win the league were around 10-1 next season.
Probably won't be putting any money on that.
Shit odds, isn't it?
It's not good value for the realistic chances that we've got. If you run that league 10 times, I don't think we win it once.
Who do you think the favourites are for next season?
I think, this is my genuine thought, the way Liverpool have been crying about each other, which is fucking pathetic, by the way. Crying from winning a fucking Player of the Year award. Stop it. Lallana crying, talking about fucking Jordan.
Hold
Honestly,
on, did these motherfuckers win the double?
No, they did not.
Stop it, man. It's naughty. That is horrible, you know. I
They're
understand.
the final's not been played yet.
I understand.
You're out of it, though.
Virgil van Dijk having the trophies at home. He won both of them. Or most of the players won both of them. But come on.
But don't be posing with them.
We could have posed with 3 Premier League trophies and all that. Oh, look what we've just won. Who's ever won 3 leagues at once? Fuck off.
Jokers. So I actually got this vibe. Stop it. Not that singing songs. I got this feeling that they might have peaked. And I had this feeling with Spurs a couple of years ago that they might have peaked.
There's talk about Mane and Salah potentially leaving. I think one of their front 3 goals.
If it's Salah, not really that over that arse, to be honest. Because even though he's been very effective for him, I think he's about to peak. Mane, I'd be buzzing if Mane went because he's class.
I think they'll still be there or thereabouts next season, but I think City are just going to...
I think City are going to
especially now they've got that FFP thing.
Oh, they're walking around fucking dick out, aren't they, City at the minute, thinking, look, we said we didn't do anything wrong. No, you did do stuff wrong.
I hate
they
City
just...
fans.
They didn't like the way the fucking court fucking banned you.
City
That's the reason.
Fucking sick, all of them. Oh, look at this. Look, it shows you we've been innocent all along. Are you just ignoring the fact that your fucking owners are human rights abusing bastards?
Or, if you was innocent, why'd you get a £10 million fine?
Yeah.
£10 million fine for what? For what?
Plastic club. Plastic shit. Bullshit owners. Bullshit fans that talk absolute wet.
But I actually think City are probably going to go turbo. And Pep's going to demand to go turbo because...
He's off soon. I reckon he's off soon.
So I think City... I think it'd probably be City Scouts as us, but closer.
Again?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. But I think it'd be City Scouts as us, but closer.
Well, you predicted us to finish third this season, and we're going to do that video for next week, a reaction to our predicted leagues, which will be fun.
Yeah.
I predicted 4th.
Predicted Arsenal get 7th, and the fucking fume in the comments from you fucking... dickhead Arsenal fans.
You're giving me great views, guys. Thank you. Keep checking out that video.
Yeah. Go see the comments from the Arsenal fans. Hilarious.
Yeah, I put Liverpool in 3rd. But that's the only major one. You did put Watford in the top 10.
Sheffield United 20th.
Who did they have at that point? Marco Silva?
I don't know. It was 4 managers ago, so who cares?
Fucking hell, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Anyway, this has been Mckola and Howson Uncensored. That's the name. Don't you forget it. That's what happens when you lose. Make sure you're subscribing. Is it on that one? It's down there. Subscribe. The word joins next to it. If you click that as well, some shit happens over there.
You get Joe's nudes.
Yeah, Joel's nudes. You can chat to him on FaceTime anytime you like.
Anytime. Specifically between 4 and 5 a.m.
Yeah, he loves that time. So make sure you're joining us, subscribing, liking, comment, sharing. Thank you to everyone that's been getting involved with us since the relaunch. We're nearly a month into the relaunch now.
It's gone out.
It's been an absolutely epic couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
With the Europa League.
And now we've got time to relax a little bit more. We'll be able to sort everything out for the future. So it's going to be going onwards and upwards. Keep it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Anything else you want to say?
What do I want to say? Nah.
See you later.